Saw the yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the yeah, grew up in a concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in the concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in the concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in the concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in the concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in the concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in the concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Yeah, grew up in the concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze. Saw the Saw the Yeah, grew up in the concrete jungle where dreams get lost in a haze.
What is up, Mets fans? Welcome to the Mets Roundtable Podcast, or as we like to call it, the Concrete Jungle Podcast. And I want to give a quick shout out to my boy Cedric for putting that together with his vocals in there as well. So shout out to Cedric for putting that together for me earlier today in record time. I don't know how we did it so quickly, but Chris is going to join us in a little bit as he was chatting it up with the Mets Weekly podcast and hanging out with those guys and chatting it up about our damn Mets. But let's get started with saying what up to the group and a little bit of positive before we get to the negative of this New York Mets team. So we're going to get a little positive here, and we're going to give a big shout out and everything, all the great happiness to Darryl Strawberry, retired number 18 yesterday. The Strawberry was the apple for one day. And I know Hector, you know, that's his childhood right there. And he brought it up on X that was his idol. You know, he had some tears going on and all that fun stuff. And, you know, I was too young to really enjoy Darryl as a Met. I seen him as much as a Yankee than I seen him as a Met, unfortunately. But let's say it up to Hector. How are you, Hector? And how is that? How is that feeling with Darryl Strawberry, that retired number? Nobody will ever wear that number again in Mets history.
No, it's great. It's great, and I'm doing good. How you guys doing? It was great. It was great to watch. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it out there because I had softball yesterday and ended up getting a little banged up, and it just wasn't. I wasn't gonna be able to make it quick enough to go there, you know. And then the guys wanted to hang out after the game, and I'm like, okay, I'll hang out a little bit, and then they want to get beers and stuff. And I'm like, man, do I really want to hang out here? It's bad enough that I'm not gonna be at the game, but I really want to watch the ceremony. So after a while, I was like, guys, man, I can't do this. I gotta go. And I left, and I, just in time to be able to put it on in the car as I was driving home. And it was tough. And, I wouldn't say that Darryl was my childhood idol, but he was my second favorite player. My second favorite player. My favorite player was Gary Carter, and then it was Darryl. And honestly, I didn't realize I had such a fondness for Darryl. I love Darryl so much until as I got older and started to appreciate him more, and maybe understanding the struggles that he went to, seeing the struggles that he went to, maybe appreciate him more or whatever. But no, yesterday was a great day. Like you said, nobody will wear number 18 again. And I'll be honest, I'm not someone that gets too caught up in the retired numbers and all that stuff. But now that they're doing it with the right guys. And yeah, it was great to get some positivity. I was hoping that the guys would be inspired by what Darryl said. You know what I'm saying? And for a minute there in the first inning, it looked like that may be the case as Lindor led off with a double off the wall. Pete follows it off with a double off the wall. Obviously, Lindor got caught out. But you're thinking, okay, good start, and we know what ended up happening or whatever. And then we saw what happened today. But yeah, man, the positivity that we needed and well deserved. And honestly, I'm hoping that those guys listen to Darryl. And I guess I don't want to go on too long, but we'll get into some of that maybe as we go along, as we talk about this team and some of the things that's gone on and stuff like that. But I thought Darryl said a couple of very good things, very very what do you might call it, motivational or whatever, but just like important things that I think guys nowadays don't realize. You know what I'm saying? As ball players. But anyways.
Yeah, and listen, I guess it was only motivational. Their bank accounts are motivating them. But yeah, I mean, if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what does. Like, I had goosebumps watching it, and I didn't even grow up watching Darryl, as I said. So look, it's a great moment, and especially for some people who didn't appreciate or wasn't around to appreciate how good he actually was. Like, when Doc was on the mound, when Darryl was at bat, it was primetime television. You had to be either in your seats or watching on the television. And that's something that I don't know if we, as Met fans, really, really had probably since then. I mean, maybe Piazza, but it was a whole different ballgame back then. At least that's what my dad said. So Hector,
It was.
Yeah, exactly. So that's Hector's take on Strawberry. So we're gonna get an either younger person to talk about it a little bit. So, Hayden, when it comes to Darryl Strawberry, again, you probably seen him if at all, when he was a Yankee. Not much anywhere else. But what is your take on it? And like, obviously, you know Mets history very well. You're one of those Met fans that know their stuff. How did you feel during that the ceremony with Darryl and retiring his number?
Yeah, well, I was born 2002, so a little bit before, a little bit too late. But no, I mean it was a nice ceremony. I'll be honest, I didn't get to watch all of it, but I saw him give a speech, and I thought it was a very nice speech. Yeah, I think it was a nice moment for not even Mets fans, just baseball fans in general, just to acknowledge and be cognizant of a past and elite player. I know Mets fans really don't have anything to look forward to this season, so it's kind of nice to have two. Doc Gooden also got retired this season, right? So, just to see Strawberry get retired, career Met, what he did during his time with the Mets was great. I mean, we really see how these 86 Mets are, viewed as gods. So I mean, goes to show. But yeah, I mean, overall, really not much to say. It was a nice ceremony, and I mean, the Mets don't really have much life, so it would have been a nice motivation, but it is what it is. We'll get into it more, but yeah, overall, I think it was a really nice ceremony, and
Yeah.
Can I add something to that before? I don't know if you were ready to move on or not, but I saw I
No,
forget who it was because it kind of moved kind of quick. But somebody pointed it out on here, and obviously I think we all saw it yesterday. And if you didn't see it, there was a shot of Strawberry in the dugout right before the game as they get ready to go out, and he shakes Jeff McNeil's hand, and it looks like he grabs him and shoves him out the way. Everybody's trying to say it. That's how they portrayed it on X, right? They put it out on X like, oh, Strawberry pushes Jeff McNeil out the way to go say hi to Lindor. Oh my gosh, right? Really, guys? If you watched, calm down, Hector. If you watched the ceremony, you could say that he did that to some of his 86 teammates. You could say that he did that to Ron. You know what I'm saying? That he actually grabbed him, like, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, as he's moving on, he grabs him, but come on, we're really good. He put Darryl Strawberry has a problem with Jeff McNeil. Yeah, that's what it is, guys. Darryl Strawberry has a problem with Jeff McNeil. Unbelievable.
He should have kicked him in his shin, made him go on the IL because he sucks.
Well, I was gonna say,
I would not
know everybody hates Jeff McNeil and they look for anything. It was like well, I guess we'll touch on the Jorge Lopez situation as we recap this great 10-game homestand. But the last time we did this was before the homestand, right? And we were throwing around records, hoping. I don't even want to know what the hell I said. I would hope that they did in this homestand. But, it's the same thing when Jorge Lopez over so he does and gets what he gets. And again, and people try to compare that to what Jeff McNeil. Like, come on, give me a freaking break, man. Give me a break. But anyways.
Yeah, I agree. I know I saw that too, and I'm like, come on, guys. Like, Dallas Strawberry can care less. And look, he would even wipe his ass with Jeff McNeil. Like, let's be honest about that. Come on. So, all right. We're gonna get negative now because there's too much positive in the beginning of the show. I don't like this. So, and the Mets don't want us to have a positive show for an hour. They just don't. Like, the last time we had a roundtable, it was right before this homestand. And I said, and many of you guys agreed, 7-3 was a minimum to at least, show something to the fans, to the organization, to the wild card stand-ins. And a little more positive take. Somehow, some way, the Mets actually gained a game in the wild card stand-ins by going 3-7. So
did they really? I don't. Like I said before, I don't look at that stuff. I just know the way the Mets are playing, they belong nowhere near a wild card. Look, until they change my mind. So I don't need to look at the standings.
when we had the roundtable last time, they were 6 games out of a wild card spot because they were way under 500. It was 6 games, and they gained a game and a half. That's how bad the National League is. The Mets only have to be average to be talked about in a wild card race. That's sad in itself. Yet the Mets are terrible, yet they're 4.5 games out of a wild card spot. If they were playing well, that's all we'd be talking about. 4.5 games out of a wild card spot. We would be talking about that if they were playing well. But guess what? They're not because they hit us. So let's get started with the 3-7 homestand, right? It started wonderful. It was terrible in the middle, and it was a disaster at the end. And the Dodgers sweep, we could all probably expect that. But they were mostly all close games throughout the whole homestand. Terrible 1-run, 2-run loss games, close games, end of games, where the Mets clearly could win that game, and they find a way to not win that game. And I want to start with today because I was setting up a stream, the post-game stream, and I'm doing my post-game numbers, and I'm putting the stats, and I have the box score there, and I'm putting the numbers in. As soon as I was about to put 0 in the top of the 9th, Marte hits a 2-run homer off a
it's your fault.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's your fault, and you touched the money.
I didn't even put it in the box score yet. I was dragging it, and I I couldn't even lie about that. That's how stupid. I felt like an idiot because I blame myself. I'm like, it's not Hickman, it's me. But no, it's every day to Mets. So it's not really me. The karma is just them. The jinx is them. The blue and orange, whatever jerseys they wear. Could we just have pink and purple polka dots? Change the colors. I don't care. Let's go. I don't care what color it is, anything but orange and blue. It seems like it's not working for the New York Mets. So the 3-7 homestand it could have been worse. Let's be honest. They could have went 0-10. It could have easily been 1-9, but they ended up 3-7. They split against the Diamondbacks, got swept against the Dodgers, took one against the Giants. They should have took 2 out of 3, if not swept the Giants, to be honest with you. Hayden, I'm going to start with you. This homestand was obviously important. Somehow, some way, they managed to stay within, can you call it striking distance of that wild card spot? Because the Mets only have 48 games until the deadline. So that's why I'm talking about the stand-ins, only because it matters to the organization. It matters to David Stearns on what he's going to do. Maybe he has his mind made up already, regardless of what's going to happen. But he would have pitchforks and a riot from Met fans if they're anywhere near a wild card spot within like 2 or 3 games. To be sellers, people will go crazy. So what was your concern going into the homestand, and what did you take out of it with that concern after the homestand? I guess that's my question to you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even know where the hell to start. I had pretty much no expectations coming into this homestand. Some people cared about tote bags. I cared about winning. But to each their own, I guess. If you want to ask yourself, were you better off than you were 4 years ago? That's an appropriate question for Mets fans to ask. Dysfunction, clubhouse animosity, 10,000 fans in the stands, and a lifeless ball club. I mean, that's what we've been seeing. That is the 2024 Mets summed up. You want this team summed up? Steve Cohen sits down, watches the Mets for 9 innings against the Giants. They have a abysmal 9th inning, Strand runners on in the 9th inning, and then he leaves. Doesn't even watch the 10th. That sums up the Mets. Heck, our owner doesn't even want to watch them. Do you think any? So I had no expectations coming in for this homestand. I'm sorry. I projected them going 2-8. Congrats. They beat me by 1. Kudos to them. Give them a trophy or something. We'll hang up a banner. That's his 2024 3-7 homestand instead of 2-8. Okay, I'll be serious now. But I mean, this team just does, and I'm going to curse, so, pardon my French, but this team doesn't give a fuck. I have never seen a group of 27 fucking losers in a clubhouse. They don't care. And it's the same thing. They go through the motions. They get up to the batter's box. They strike out. They go on the mound. They give up a 2-run home run. And then they say the same bull crap in the post-game press conference. And what is it? Oh, I don't even need to say it because you guys know what it is. Oh, we're better than this. Oh, we shouldn't be. Oh, our expectations are better than this. Shut the hell up and show it. Nobody cares what, you have to say. Show it. This team has no vocal leader. They have clubhouse animosity, apparently. There's so much issues going on in the clubhouse. This team is not it. I'm sorry, but this team is not talented. And it's one thing if you're not going to be a talented organization like the White Sox, like the Athletics, like the Marlins. That's fine. If you're not going to play well and be well, that's fine. You can't control that. But what you can control is having a good winning attitude. And that's what no one on this Mets team has. Nobody cares. You saw after the Jorge Lopez incident. Yeah, I mean, that was an iffy situation. That was just Twitter kind of twisting it into a bigger thing than it was. But you saw, they asked Pete Alonso, oh, what'd you think of it? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I mean, dude, I understand you went to UF for baseball, definitely not the brains, but you could have said, oh, well, he really cares about the game. Yeah, what he did was a mistake, but at the end of the day, we all want 1 goal. Boom. Should have said that. It would have been fine instead of, I don't know. So, yeah, this team has no life. Morale is in the toilet. That's done enough. In terms of the performance, I mean, it's what we said last stream. When they hit, they don't pitch. When they pitch, they don't hit. The bullpen is definitely starting to show its concerns. Yeah, Brooks Raley's down. Okay, that is a really unfortunate woe. Everyone's like, oh, closer by committee. What do we do? No, Edwin Diaz. Edwin Diaz was blowing games even when he was here. So, I mean, I agree. Losing any bullpen arm is annoying because then you have to move everyone around. But, yeah, I mean, guys like Reed Garrett, obviously, their innings are getting up. We didn't expect Reed Garrett to be pitching how he did in April all season. I mean, Jose Quintana. I mean, talk about one of the most disappointing Mets, and I think that award goes to him. I mean, he was supposed to be at worst an average pitcher, and I mean, he's one of the worst. He's a number 10 pitcher in this rotation, in my opinion. But I mean, horrible 3-7 homestand. I mean, the Giants make the Mets and the Dodgers made the Mets look like garbage. You won the first 2 games against the Dbacks after you had your little powwow in the clubhouse, and then they just, couldn't do it for Strawberry, and then they decided to blow it today. So this team, and it's crazy because, and I don't want to talk about the Yankees at all, but you look at a team like the Yankees and everything's going right for them, and then you look at the Mets and it's on the contrary. It's literally the opposite. I watched the Yankee game today. They're down in the 9th inning. Soto, they come back. Judge, Stanton. That's a good team. People say Soto's going to come to the Mets. What are you smoking? Can I have some? Why is Juan Soto a dude who is probably going to – the MVP race is between Judge and Soto in the AL, probably in baseball in general. Why is a dude like Soto going to want to leave the Yankees? Trust me, Uncle Hal will get it done. Leave the Yankees and come to the Mets when their clubhouse is an animosity capital and they're going to lose 100 games. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure if Soto wins a World Series with the Yankees, which could easily see this year, definitely could take a cheaper deal, but whatever. Overall, last thing, because I know you probably want me to shut the heck up. Just horrible 3-7 homestand. That's all I could say. I mean, this team runs through the motions, lifeless, lackluster. Yeah, I mean, I would love frickin' Soto to come to the Mets, but I like to be realistic, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. But overall, just a horrible homestand, and it sucks seeing a team like the Yankees, like the Phillies, do well. And yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, yeah, you said the two things that you said that were very interesting was there isn't a vocal leader, and what Pete Alonso said.
And then one last thing, Pham, Scherzer, Stroman, and I feel like there's one more player. They were all right about this clubhouse. They were all right.
Yeah, and when Pete Alonso said what he said about the Lopez thing, people took that as like like people threw it to the side, but I thought that was telling. It's not just what Pete Alonso said. I felt like that felt like across the clubhouse. Like anybody could have spoken that spot, and it felt like it would have made this. It would have been the same type of weird answer, I guess. I mean, we know Pete Alonso's quirky. He never answers directly. He always okay, duh. But he always does that. But it just felt such a lack of leadership. And we're not asking you to be, the best speaker in the world and all that fun stuff. But like, it was really, really, really bad. As we say, right up to CP that just showed up on the screen. Look, Hayden is absolutely right. Right? Me and him went back, and I told this you guys on the post game. Me and Hayden went back and forth. Like, it's not that he's wrong at all. Like, he's right what he said. And I agree with the whole vocal leadership thing that's not there. They seem like they go through the motions, and it just doesn't seem like they're all in. They're all as one as a team. Like, let's be honest. Hayden brought up the Yankees. You watch that game? Tell me they weren't all in for each other. I always said this. I felt like this core is like separate. Like it's one class, but there's a click here, there's a click there. It looks like high school. Like they're not.
Let me tell you something about that.
Right?
Because it just reminded me of something I just saw a little while ago. That shout out to Keith. I saw from him. He posted it, and there was a picture on a team bus, on one of the buses, right? Yeah. I don't know how the buses are split up. But there were some pictures there because it's Severino and taking the picture.
Yeah.
The infielders were there because Lindor, Iglesias, who else? Vientos was there. I'm pretty sure I can see Brandon Nimmo like somewhere behind Lindor, right? Yeah. You see, what's the new guy? Torrens is there. I have mentioned Iglesias. JD Martinez is right by Severino. And in the back, if you really want to look, because I wanted to look, I see this picture. Let me see what's going on here, because it's gonna little things like that tell us what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? It tells us things about what we're talking about. It's how you pick up and you get to make a little judgment. Wrong, right, or indifferent, doesn't matter, right? We see things like that and we make little judgments. We have ideas already. We've been questioning the core, the vocal leadership, which I could say something about that too as it pertains to Jorge Lopez. And in the back somewhere, I think I see Pete Alonso, like behind Brandon Nimmo, has no clue what the hell is going on. He's like looking down on his phone. He's not even paying attention. No clue. So to me is, are you that lost? Did you not want to be part of the photo? Did they not even think to include you in the photo? You understand? And then I'm looking for the other guy. Because I said the infielders are all there, right?
Yeah.
Where's the other dude? Where's McNeil? So I'm looking, I'm looking. And somewhere on the left-hand side of the photo, as it's facing me, behind JD somewhere, I see above the chair about this much of somebody's head. You can barely see an eye. Let's put it like this. Which I think is Jeff McNeil. What are we doing? Now, that can mean nothing. But again, to what you guys are talking about, and I've said this before in the stream, I've said it in my videos and stuff. Who's the guy on this team that maybe not necessarily the leader, but becomes a leader because he brings all the different factions together? You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure this team has had that for a long time.
No.
You know, when you talk to me about vocal leadership, I'm sorry, guys, you got me started. When you talk to me about vocal leadership, right? And we go back, you want to ask me how I feel about this freaking 10-game homestand and what I was thinking coming in? I told you what I was thinking coming in. Show me something. Show me something. You're playing two good teams, right? The Giants were coming in hot. The Dodgers is the Dodgers. The Diamondbacks may not have a good record, but everybody, the former NL champs, they went to the World Series, whatever. Show me something. What the hell did they show us? That they stink. That they have no leadership. That there's no cohesion, right? Because that Jorge Lopez situation, I said it in my video. Every single Met fan, if you're honest with yourself, Jorge Lopez is every single one of us.
Absolutely.
I had people commenting in my post today talking about, DM, I forget what the hell it was. I wanted to throw my champagne glass or whatever the hell he said watching this game today. Jorge Lopez is all of us. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that, okay, he screwed up. It's unprofessional, whatever the hell you want to say. The fact that now one of these so-called leaders had the temperature of the situation, had a grasp of the situation, and said, you know what? And even knew their teammate, right? Because we don't know what the hell's going on behind the scenes. I didn't know that his son was dealing with a health condition. As we found out later, you know what I'm saying? These dopes should know that. At least one of them.
They know. Trust me.
Right?
They know.
No, I don't trust you, Rob. How do you know that?
They know.
I don't know if they talk to each other like that. I don't know if they talk to each other
I can
like that.
assure you at least a couple. At least
okay, that's what I'm saying. So where was somebody there to stand by next to him and say, no, you're not going to do this right now.
That's the problem.
We're not going to let you do this because we know the state that you're in. Don't do this interview.
Yep.
Or even stand right there and when it gets out of control, be like, guys, get the F out of here. This is done. It's over. That's what a leader does. Yeah, and again, shout out to Keith. He talked about where's the interpreter and all that. Okay, to hell with the interpreter. He's not part of this team, really.
Hector,
where's the leadership of this team?
They used him as a
scapegoat. He didn't give the fans a thumbs down.
They used him as a scapegoat, and that's the problem. And that's why that pissed me off a lot, because this guy, no matter what's going on behind the scenes, we don't know, even if the team doesn't know. That's your teammate until otherwise said. He was still your teammate at that moment. You use Lopez as a scapegoat because nobody wanted to
Rob,
stand up.
I'm sorry, Rob. They had a team meeting and nobody spoke to him about the situation. How do you have a team meeting right after this happens and this doesn't come up?
They probably had a team meeting about their favorite meal.
Positivity. Hayden, that's what they said afterwards. Oh, yeah, we wanted to hold each other accountable. My bad, CP. You just came in and I'm already screaming. You haven't even said hello, my brother. I'm going to shut the hell up right now. They talked about afterwards, oh, yeah, we wanted to be accountable. We want to look each other in the face. But then it turned into positivity. Dope ass JD Martinez want to tell me, oh, if we lose, we lose. What? I understand what he's trying to say. I promise you, I understand what he's trying to say. Let's play loose. Don't put the pressure on. Yeah, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that nonsense.
All right, Chris. So you came in a little bit late. We had some positive to start with Strawberry and the retirement and get everybody voice. You already spoke about it on post game the other day with the game, so that I think you did. But if you want to say something about the Strawberry thing, you can. But just your take on the 3-7 homestand. We talked about this on a roundtable how important this homestand was, and somehow, some way, they gained a game and a half in the wildcard standings because the National League sucks. No credit to the Mets, but what is your take or your stance on this team, on this 3-7 homestand? What is your feel about this and your take on this team?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things, and I did just walk into a hellstorm here, and I love it because that's exactly a resemblance of what this team really is right now. So kudos to everybody. Hector, you're all good. That's entertaining. Like I like listening to that. But I think that the perception is what Michael's saying in the chat as well. You still have to sell at the deadline because the process of this team absolutely just sucks right now. You can't be convinced that this team is anything more than what they're displaying on the field right now. Literally, like there's nothing else to this team. And there's a whole bunch of reasonings as to why. You can point at like a Brooks Raley injury to sort of start the derailment of the bullpen. But why do we get to that point, right? Why do we get to that point? Well, because the starters can't go late in ball games. And I'm honestly just sick of having that conversation in general because it just seems like the MLB, I will backtrack that. It seems like the Mets are incapable with the personnel to go late in ball games. So that like, I'm not even going to ask for it anymore because it's just not going to happen. The bullpen is just going to have to find a way to weather the storm in that regard. But 3-7 is unacceptable. We talked about it before this 10-game homestand started, that this was the last opportunity for this team to prove not only to us fans, because at the end of the day, okay, we're talking about this team. Everyone has an opinion about this team, but the guys that make the decision up top, and David Stearns all the way down, even Steve Cohen all the way down, prove to those guys that you all want to remain on the same team together rather than being shipped on your first flight into a new city and a new ballpark. And guess what? It didn't happen. Bottom line, no matter how you cut it, no matter how close of a game it was today with Jake Diekman blowing it, it doesn't matter. The result, it's win and loss. And that's it. That's it. We have made and exhausted, maybe some more so than others, right? In terms of talking about this team, we've exhausted all excuses that this team deserves. It's done. You got to be sellers. You have to. Because there's nothing that's going to happen between now and the deadline that's going to make me think this team is a lot better than what we've seen. It's just not. And Francisco Alvarez is going to help in that regard, but he can't do it all himself. I'm sorry. He's going to have a good impact on this team when he comes back, but it's not going to be enough because he's 22 years old and this team has a lot more holes than just having Francisco Alvarez off of the field for the last couple of weeks, last 5-6 weeks, whatever it's been. So it's a crapshoot right now. That's really all it is, Rob.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I felt like they were gonna show us something, even if they went 5-5 or 6-4. At least a respectable homestand and showed you something. Like, look, we had some good individual performances. I said this many times. There's too many individual performances that doesn't relate to a team a team like overall stat, which is wins loss, right? Individuals together supposed to make a team stat, wins and losses. And I felt like, look, I put that graphic in the group chat, right? The last 25 games for Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor, pretty damn good. Individually, beautiful. And then I looked at their splits game to game. They barely do any damage together during that stretch. That's crazy. Like, I was shocked by that. So that tells me in that 25, 26 game stretch that one or the other did their job that day, but they did it 3 times together in that 25 game stretch where they did damage, meaning run production together. That's why I keep on saying these individual stats that everybody wants to throw for every player, including myself, with Lindor, with Pete Alonso, with Jeff, with Nimmo, whatever. The fact is, for some reason, the fit, it doesn't connect when it comes to team overall winning and losing. It doesn't land in the W column. Somehow, some way, they all end up with beautiful stats at the end. Nimmo got paid because of it. Lindor got paid because of it. And Pete Alonso's probably going to get paid from somebody because of these individual stats. They're beautiful on paper. Everybody loves it. But when you put it together on a Mets team, together with 24 other guys, 23 other guys, it doesn't work. I don't know why. Because at the end of the year, you look at the stats, you're like, wow, we had a good season. No, not bad. But it doesn't fit. It doesn't work together. And that's why it has to be sell mode at the deadline, like Chris just said. I'm sorry. I said this in a group chat, and I said this on post-game, pre-game. This is what's got to happen, right? David Stearns can say everybody on that team is on the block. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to have a drink. And I'm going to be like, do what you got to do. I'm not even going to get mad on any player that is on the block, right? Everybody know I have a little bit of a favoritism towards Lindor a little bit because I think he gets way too much heat other than the person that should be getting heat. But you know what? They all deserve it now. Every one of them. Nobody has an excuse anymore. None of them. I don't want to hear individual stats. I don't care about the last 25 games. Your team is not winning. It's useless because you don't put the team on your back enough to win those ball games. So sit back, relax, and sell, guys. You know why? Because nobody deserves to be on this team because they all checked out. So why should we be here acting like we're still in this shit, talking about it, caring, when every one of those guys feel like they're checked out and waiting for their next call for their next team? At least the ones that don't have a contract after this year. And I said this in the post game, guys. Listen closely. I'm telling you, you're not believing me. And Hector, we kind of went back and forth a couple of roundtables ago in regards to Pete Alonso. He is on the first fucking plane out of Queens. I'm telling you, as soon as he gets an offer that's close or better than the Mets or around, even the same, he is running for the fucking hills. He's running right past Roosevelt Avenue. I'll tell you that right now. 100%.
I agree with that.
He's running.
I agree.
I said that. All that bullshit he said in the media about, oh, I love the Mets. I love the Met fans. I love New York. Bullshit. You love money, which is fine. Get paid. Love you. Get that money. I never hate a player for that. But don't give me that bullshit. And then a few months later, that contract comes out.
You don't hold on, but you don't think what's gone on here has anything to do with him feeling like that?
Hold on, Heck. He if that contract offer is true, that is a solid, friendly player offer for a first offer. That's a pretty good damn offer. And he declined it. If this is all true, then you're telling me that this guy is going to take a little bit more to stay with the Mets? That motherfucker is on the way out. I'm sorry. And Met fans, he don't give a shit. I'm sorry. He's going to get paid, and he's finding his way out of here. As much as he might, quote unquote, love New York.
Kill Alonso because he's going to get paid because he's the only one that's got him paid.
No. But here's the thing. Though. But you know what? Nimmo came back. Right? There was other teams that were offering good money.
And people say he got overpaid. That he came back because he got overpaid.
But you know what? He came back. and he did not have to. He could have went closer
because he got overpaid. So if the Mets are willing to overpay him, we'll see if he
the
comes
Mets
back
ain't
or not.
overpaying for Pete Alonso because
Okay, well that's a different story then. That's a
No,
different
it's
story.
not.
Then. So you're gonna blame him for that?
no, he's not going to be a Met regardless. I'm telling you right now, he's going to find every
Yeah,
way
he's not gonna be a
possible.
Met. But let me tell you something, Rob. This is where I'm at with this nonsense. I hate the fact that we're having this conversation on fucking June 2nd. It's obvious that if this team keeps playing the way that it's playing, you have to sell. Or you gotta sell. Oh my gosh, that's so innovative. You're breaking news to anybody that says that. Oh, Bob Nightingale posted a list today. The Mets are thinking about. Oh, thank you, Bob Nightingale. You're telling me something I don't know. Give me a damn break. Obviously, if they keep playing the way it is, they have to sell. Does everybody know what that really means? Because people think you're gonna sell, right? And we're gonna have the conversation. Let me quiet down. We're gonna have the conversation that we're having, right? About there's no leadership, there's no this, there's no that. This team is garbage, right? And we're gonna sell everybody, and we're gonna get the best freaking prospects every team has, and we're gonna get Juan Soto, and we're gonna become a championship team. Well, I got news for you. That's not gonna happen, okay? That's not gonna happen. So you want to sell everybody? Are you really ready for what that really means? Are you ready for what that means?
Not enough people are, heck. That's the problem.
Because they don't know what it means. They think they're going to sell, and magically, in 2025, we're going to be competitive. Kiss my ass with that shit. We were supposed to be competitive right now. We were supposed to be competitive. When they said that, they meant it.
Yep.
They meant it. Because these bums on this team are supposed to be better than they are. And that's the problem. Edwin Diaz, shout out to my guy Antonio, who's saying here, should we go get a closer? I have it written down here. Edwin motherfucking Diaz, right here. On top. Where the hell is this shit? I don't even know where the fucking camera is. It's probably not showing because of the background. Edwin Diaz has been killing this team for most of his time here, guys. Think about it. What did we get into Diaz? 2019. He sucked. Pandemic season, Edwin Diaz sucked. 2021, okay. Everybody else stunk. 2022, magical year. Thank you, Edwin Diaz. 2023, not his fault. He gets hurt. Season over again. 2024, he comes back. Ineffective, brokenhearted, no guts. Season fucking over again. Because the Edwin Diaz, because if he was there doing his job, then maybe we're not fucking overworking everybody.
Yep.
You know what? I think that exactly what Hector's saying right now, the reason why I think Pete Alonso, if Pete Alonso, first of all, I think he's going to be on the block, right? I think we all know he's going to be on the block. There's going to be a possibility, right, that he's just out of here and he's not a Met for the rest of the season. But I really do think that with the way these contracts have been given out, prime example, Edwin Diaz, like, let's be honest with you, Edwin Diaz is talented, right? But he got paid based off of one career historical year in 2022. And outside of that, there's really not much basis to give him a reliever, right? A 5-year deal worth around $100 million. There's no rhyme or reason to that. But the fact that Steve Cohen is the richest owner in baseball. So I think the Mets, under David Stearns, they are not going to pony up. They ponied up to Nimmo because they had to, because the market for center fielders were scarce. Yeah. They ponied up to Edwin Diaz because imagine the optics surrounding not signing the best closer in baseball off of that contract year. Imagine. So they did it. They're not going to let this happen again with Pete Alonso, not on David Stern's watch. I promise you. So that's why, regardless of if he is here or if he's gone at the deadline, or regardless if they let this play into free agency, which would be a mistake not to get a haul for Pete Alonso at the deadline at that point. So obviously this is just speculation, but I really don't think they are going to extend and be the ones to pay above what their market valuation of Pete Alonso is. They're just not going to do it, and David Stearns is not going to do it. There's a million other ways, Rob, and this is to your credit. Do I agree with everything you say about Pete Alonso, Rob? Night in and night out? No, I don't, because I do like Pete Alonso, and I think that he has been valuable for this team, and more valuable than a lot of guys on this team when you look at this lineup top to bottom. Maybe like especially when you get down to the bottom of the lineup. But that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're discussing right now. But what I will say is that I truly do think at the end of the day that we can't justify at this point making him the highest paid first baseman if that's what he's out for. Because like I said, we don't know exactly. Those reports haven't been leaked, but there's a reason why he hired Boris and switched over to the Boris Corporation to get the bag and to get a bigger bag than Freddie Freeman. And honestly, as a Mets fan and seeing the way that this core has been invested in with minimal returns and just the way this construction or lack thereof and the process has been under Billy Epler, for example, you can't justify continuing to overpay guys for the sake of the reason behind it being we have the richest owner in baseball. There has to be methodical and procedural processes in place in free agency that David Stearns, I think, has the know-how to do. And that is a little bit speculation and hopefulness on my part, because like I said, it's a different ballgame in Milwaukee, different market, different vibe around the league in terms of how they view the Brewers versus how they view the Mets. And that's going to be a challenge within itself. But I think that David Stearns has the capability of doing that. But I will say the strategy as the Mets approach the offseason in terms of free agency. That's why Hector said, forget about Juan Soto, forget about XYZ. Like, the Mets don't always have to be the biggest spenders to build a contending baseball team. And that's what we're going to see moving forward. My humble opinion.
All the Mets fans going to be patient. And I'm glad, because I believe, Chris, you were on with Mets Weekly, right? They talked about that exact point about, you know, they're okay if they have to rebuild. But you know what? That's only like 5% of the fan base. The fan base can talk all the big game they want. I tell you right now, you are not going to go through a Houston Astros, Baltimore Orioles rebuild for 3-4 years and going to stand by that. You're not going to. You're going to be pissed off. You're going to go nuts, losing 100 games a season just to get high draft picks and completely rebuild, because that's the case. That's how you do a complete rebuild. Now, we really never seen that in baseball in New York. Even the Wilpons, I mean, I think they kind of half-assed it every single time, but even they didn't go through a complete rebuild when they should have. So I doubt Stearns and Cohen is going to go through a complete rebuild, because if you do that, you might as well find a way to trade Lindor and Nimmo, because you're wasting their last couple of prime years while you're rebuilding.
So how were their years?
I agree.
But that's the only reason why, Rob. That's the only reason why I think that because if they didn't invest in those players, we would have been already talking about a rebuild 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Well, that would have been the route that they would have taken had they not traded for Lindor. You know, we could go all the way back then. But some people like Rob will say, no, they had to do this. Nonsense. They could have done it.
There was no.
I didn't say they had to do it. I said they did it because Cohen wanted to make a splash. He should have done the rebuild.
He didn't have to do that. He could, and that would have been.
But there was no need to have a rebuild.
Believe me, we would have flipped out if this billionaire owner buys the team and comes in and says, "Hey guys, forget 3 to 5 years. What the hell that drives Hayden crazy? If you would have said, "We'll see you in 7 years" or whatever the hell it is, because we're gonna tear this thing down and we're gonna build it from the bottom up," we would have gone crazy. But what I always say, if you had conviction behind what you're going to do, go ahead and do it. Just make sure you do it right. Because we'll be here regardless. We're here now. We'll be here. When's the next off day? We'll probably be here Thursday talking about we just lost 2 out of 3 to Washington, and now we got to go to London and embarrass ourselves. Is that enough? Like, they should cancel this damn trip. I swear. Can we send somebody else over there? Do we have to go in foreign territory and go embarrass ourselves?
Yeah,
all
we got
to half across the world to go embarrass ourselves, embarrass MLB, embarrass New York, embarrass CP, embarrass Hayden, embarrass Rob, my guy Sanders, Joel. Now everybody gonna get embarrassed. Anybody that wears Mets gonna go get embarrassed. I got my friend Nicole. Shout out to Nicole if she's watching. Going on this trip. She wanna go on this trip right now. I'm glad I'm poor enough to not consider going on this trip. Because if I was going on this trip, I'd shoot myself. I swear. I would not want to go. I've been trying to do anything I could to get I want to go to London. I want to go to the games. I'll find something else to do instead of the games. But the trip is already booked, right? The hell with the games. Who the hell wants to watch? I don't want to go watch them in City Field.
I think
I
One
was
point.
5 minutes from the stadium today. My bad, Hayden. 5 minutes from the stadium. I could have gone to the damn game before I would have done it. Drove right by the shit.
One point that I want to say, and listen, I can't argue anything that Hector's saying right now. I mean, like everyone thinks it's exaggerated, but like we are tired of seeing this happen night in and year out. Listen, this is just absolutely abysmal. And what are you guys laughing at? Oh,
Junior said, nah, we about to make a lot of rich. Yo, are you kidding me? They're gonna become Phillies fans, bro.
What about those UK
Make
Mets,
them
baby?
Phillies. They gonna think the Phillies is the biggest, best powerhouse in MLB baseball when they get through demolishing us out there. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing, bro.
One point that I wanted to make on why the rebuild is going to be tougher is because the MLB has made it tougher. So when you talk about an Orioles team that rebuilt and took like 5 or 6 years of accumulating top 5 draft picks, that's not necessarily how the MLB has been set up. Like that the lottery change, like for example, that hinders the
that's a
Mets.
good point.
The luxury tax hinders the Mets. Like there's a lot of other variables at play rather than, okay, we finished 29th out of 20 out of 30 MLB teams and we get the second overall pick. That's not how it works anymore.
No.
So that I just want to throw that out there because I think a lot of people forget about that too.
That's why the complete rebuild is not as easy as it was with the Astros and the Orioles losing 100+ games, losing TV deals because they sucked. It can't. It's not like that anymore. Where you're the worst team in baseball, the second worst team, and you get the 1 and 2 overall pick. It doesn't work like that no more. So you can have one of the worst records and end up picking 9th. Like that's a big possibility. And like you know, unless you draft well every single time, you're going to be in trouble. So look, the fact of the matter is, I don't believe they're going to do a complete rebuild, right? Cohen's time to do it when he first took over the team, and nobody was going to stand by that. When the billionaire owner of the Mets, the richest owner in baseball, takes over a team and says, I ain't spending any money for 3-4 years. We're going to complete rebuild. When Pete Alonso just hit the rookie home run record, and you're going to tell fans, oh, we're going to let the years of Pete Alonso just play out. And then we're gonna rebuild. It wasn't going to happen. As much as people,
they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it, Rob. But my question to you, to Hayden, to CP, to my man Antonio, who not only is saying no, they're not gonna rebuild. How can you rebuild with these guys? Which is right. You guys are right. You really can't rebuild with Lindor. We even with Edwin Diaz under contract, right? What the hell are you gonna add to this team?
Okay,
that's really gonna make it better. You know what I'm saying? Besides the hope that some of these prospects pan out, and again, the dream of Juan Soto. Do you think had the Mets made the trade, which they should have, because that's where they dropped the ball, they should have done everything they could to make that Juan Soto trade.
I agree.
Let's say, don't talk to me about, not you, Rob. Don't talk to me about, we didn't have the pieces. Let's play the hypothetical that we did make that trade. You think the Mets are doing what the Yankees are doing right now?
I don't know.
Be honest, Rob. Be honest.
You know why? Because I know Juan Soto will take over that clubhouse just like he did with the Yankees.
Nonsense.
Yankees.
Did he take? Hold on. Did he take over the clubhouse in San Diego, or did we not hear rumors that there may be issues in San Diego? See, because I don't think Juan Soto is that leader. I just listened to an interview of Juan Soto that he did with Harold Reynolds earlier today. He talks about how they welcomed him. They make him feel comfortable. See, that's what I keep saying. People don't like it. We're Met fans. We hate it. But there is a hierarchy at the Yankees. There is a way of doing things when you go to the Yankees. We are always looking for that savior to come in here and do things. No. Not the Yankees. They just added Juan Soto. Come here, you're great. But you don't have to lead here. Now, you're going to lead by example. You're going to lead just by the way you do things. That's going to naturally happen. But you're not going to come here to save us as far as leadership, as far as a clubhouse culture or anything like that.
The Mets don't have an Aaron Judge, though. The Mets don't have an Aaron Judge.
That's my point, CP. That's my point.
Yeah.
We don't have. That's what we spent the first 30 minutes talking about.
Let me ask you something. You bring that up with Juan Soto, right? say if the Yankees win the World Series, right? That would be our worst nightmare, right? We have to deal with that nonsense. But say if they do, right? Say if they do. Aaron Judge has terrible numbers in the postseason. You're going to tell me Juan Soto don't bring them to the next level? Why wouldn't he do that with any team? He did it with the Nationals. He was the man in the Nationals. Who was their leader? Ryan Zimmerman? I don't think so.
What you mean? Why not?
I don't think so. No, 100%. Juan Soto brings
it. Great leadership with hitting home runs, with producing. That's not leadership, my dude.
No. But he brings something out.
Francisco Lindor had 30-30 last year. Where was the leadership?
I never said he can be that leader because of Pete Alonso. Because I think he's in that shadow. He's in that shadow of Pete Alonso. I'm telling you right now. Pete Alonso's shadow, because he's a big piece of this Mets.
Dude, I don't think they consider Pete Alonso part of the leadership. They just had a team meeting. Pete Alonso wasn't even there. And I know he was in the hospital.
He's a waste of time. He needs to be the fucking leader because Lindor tries to be the leader and he's not, because the shadow of Pete Alonso. Whoever else wants to try to be the leader, he's always going to be overshadowed by Pete Alonso's presence amongst fans, amongst
I think you're creating something with your hatred for Pete Alonso. Everybody tells you Lindor's the leader.
Absolutely not.
Everybody says Lindor is the leader.
Let me tell you something.
They don't say Lindor's the leader. Look, we can say that he's not the leader. We may not like the leadership.
Hold on. The fact of the matter is, Juan Soto demands respect. When he comes to the clubhouse, he works the hardest. He's always on the field. He's the best player he can possibly be. He makes players better on the team just by his presence, the way he acts on the field, always giving 110%, which we don't see the Mets do most of the time. He brings a different element. And I'm going to tell you.
Alonso? But only Pete Alonso doesn't bring 110%?
No, I said the team.
Okay. Did you not bring it? Hold on. Did they not bring in Lindor? And everybody said this is the leader now, the media and the fans said this was the leader. So why did his leadership not overtake Pete Alonso? He's such a good leader.
Because
why did his hard work not overtake Pete Alonso's like a hard work? Maybe because he doesn't work hard either. Because I hear Viento's telling me, Francisco Lindor advises him to ease up on the work. It's better to work smarter, not harder.
He might, but you know what? That's the problem, because it's all of them. Because nobody's stepping up. Maybe Lindor was the leader in Cleveland, but he's not here. Maybe he's just not that type of leader anymore.
We found out he wasn't no damn leader in Cleveland.
I think it's an issue.
And if he was a leader in Cleveland, they just sure as hell don't miss him.
Yeah,
they don't miss his leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
jump in here, brother.
Forget Juan Soto though at this moment, because at this moment,
and I'm gonna do a Juan Soto video on my channel, like an extended. I'm gonna give him too much here because
I'm gonna tell you right now,
Juan Soto topic has me tight.
Look, guys, Juan Soto's taking the biggest offer. Whoever that is, I don't care who it is. I don't care if
I'm not buying it. Juan Soto is a New York Yankee for life, brother.
I agree.
I don't give a shit what you say.
That's fine. I'm gonna tell you right now.
I don't want to do my video here, man. You're trying to steal my content.
Look, I'm not saying Juan Soto's gonna be a Met, but there's gonna be somebody out there that is gonna overpay drastically that Hal Steinbrenner is not gonna go to. I'll tell you that. Now, if that doesn't happen, he'll be a Yankee. But I'll tell you that right now.
Well, who could that really be, though? Honestly, who could that be? Besides the Mets. Could you think anybody could really go crazy like that? Unless the Dodgers do it, maybe.
Yes. No, not even the Dodgers. I'm telling you, if you can work out a deal where it's like a long-term deal where it works out where you can spread out the money a lot more. A lot of these teams. What about the Baltimore Orioles? They just got a new owner that's ready to spend. You don't think
that's a good team? That's a good one. That's a good one, Rob.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on. I think it was Joe and Easy, right, guys. I am not saying Pete Alonso is a leader. I'm not saying Pete Alonso should be the leader of this team. If you follow me on X, I posted yesterday, I think it was. If I never heard Pete Alonso speak again, I would be the happiest person on the planet. I can't stand to hear the men speak. I can imagine how those guys feel in the clubhouse. You think they don't roll their eyes when Pete speaks? I'm sure they do. I know he's not a leader. My beef with Rob is that Rob wants to put everything on Pete. You know what I'm saying? Everything is Pete's fault to the point that he's saying that Pete is holding Lindor back, the great leader, from being a leader. I'm not buying that.
When Pete leaves and Lindor actually has this team on his own, watch. Tell you, tremendous difference. I'm gonna tell you, when he's not on his Mets team, 100% agree.
I'll have to wait for that too and see if that comes to fruition. I will say though, I want
words. I tell you that.
I want to say this. I know I got in here a little bit late, and I actually have to call it a night early. But did we talk about the topic that I was pretty heated at a couple days ago? Did we talk about the Christian Scott send down?
No,
no, we didn't.
I'm still finding the proper rationale by and listen, this is not me questioning David Stern, this is not me questioning the front office, but this is me questioning the goal of what we're doing here. I think this front office should just come out and say they're never going to do it. We know that, but they already have it in their minds that they are going to sell at this deadline. They already have it in their minds. And regardless of whatever David Stern says, the writing's already on the wall. And it was before this homestand. Let me just be very clear, is before this homestand. But a bunch of these reporters, conflicting reports out there saying that the Mets are sending down Christian Scott. They're not going to let him pitch Tuesday in Washington. Right? I don't know if he was scheduled to start regardless, but that was the next calendar day you would guess in the 5-man rotation with the regular scheduled pitchers that he was going to be able to go.
But I'm
sorry, send him down.
We're using a 6-man though, so that's just one thing there. But go ahead.
Are we though? Who's the 6-man?
We've been using a 6-man. Like that's why they bang him up in the first place, because of all the games, no days off. You know what I mean?
But then that further reinforces the point of you trying to sell me on his innings limit. Like what are we doing here? He's gonna have one more start, and then he's gonna have an extended break after the London series.
Yeah, but Chris, what I was saying to you in the group chat when it came to that, the fact that they can control the innings and he can still pitch every 5th or 6th day over the next week or two in the minor leagues, and they can control every aspect of that. He can
instead of going 5-6 innings, maybe he goes 3 innings. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they want to pitch him 1 week, 1 day, and then give him 7 or 8 days off. I don't think
this is my point. This is my point.
No, they said they'd rather him go every 5 days, shorter starts. So he might not even go an official start. It might be 3 innings, and we're taking you out not because you're struggling, just because.
If you're trying to win, it's a bad spot to be in.
It's a bad optic. It's a bad optic. First of all,
that's what I think it is. Like I know you're mad about it. I just think that's what it is, to be honest. Like exactly that.
This is my gripe. And MEZ's already sitting here telling me the Mets have days off, whatever, telling me that I'm bitching. Listen, okay, whatever. Go ahead. You do you. I'm gonna tell you this right now. It came out before the season that the Mets did not have an innings limit on Christian Scott. It came out that was reported. That was hardcore reported. Like you can't deny that they did not have an innings limit, right? They didn't, Rob.
But I don't think. I think you're making that like the main reason, and I don't think that's the main reason why they send them down. Like, oh, we want to limit his innings. The main reason, in my opinion, is you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it, right? But you have McGill get healthy. You have Peterson get healthy, right? So to them, those guys are still ahead of Christian Scott, right? Christian Scott wasn't really in the plans to come up so early. He pushed his way up here, combined with injuries, a little bit of ineffectiveness. Hold on, CP. I'm just trying to rationalize with you. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna change your mind. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of maybe what they're thinking. His performance, the schedule, everything contributed to him coming up here, right? Now, these guys are getting healthy. We said this year, the main purpose of this year was to evaluate, right? So we're still trying to find out. This is the Mets. I'm speaking as the Mets. We're still trying to find out. We may be done with them, what David Peterson really is, what Tyler McGill really is. So now we found out, David Peterson, he's been dealing with this for a long time. He had the surgery. Let's see how he comes through that. Maybe that is something that was really bothering him. Maybe he can be more effective, right? We found out McGill while he was hurt. Having us on some video, he figured out some grip, whatever. Let's see. But still, just because they're ahead and their age And because where the team is being competitive while evaluating, while challenging these bums that they're failing right now, this challenge. So I understand why they're bringing them back. We're done with Quintana right now. You know what? Christian Scott should take Quintana's next start, wherever the hell that is. London, Africa, UAE, I don't give a shit. Jose Quintana should not start again for the New York Mets in his next start.
That's a
and
fact
maybe not
too.
for a
That's
while.
a separate
So
discussion.
maybe Christian Scott should take his next start. But you got Peterson, McGill coming back, and then you have Manaya, Quintana, and Severino. Like,
What I will say is if you're trying to win ball games and you have a bullpen problem
now
right
that I
now,
agree with you.
Hector, you have a bullpen problem right now. If you're trying to win ball games, you can't sell me on Christian Scott being sent down and moving David Peterson over to the bullpen
Well, let me
when
tell
you
you
have
this.
no
Let me
other
tell you this.
options.
No, because you say I thought you were gonna say this because my boy keeps saying this and he keeps bringing up the Cardinals and Adam Wainwright. And I don't know the details, but he says like the Cardinals brought up Adam Wainwright, and I even heard Wainwright talk about it when he did the game for the Mets that Saturday evening on Fox, and he was in the bullpen. Why not put Christian Scott in the bullpen? It doesn't mean that he'll never start again. You understand what I'm saying? But this is something that my boy Jack, shout out to him. I don't know if he's watching. He might be watching. Something that he suggested. You know what I mean?
But my previous point to round this whole thing out is, okay, understood. If they all of a sudden have figured out based off of them being sellers and they understand that they're probably going to sell off Quintana, they're probably going to sell off Severino. If that's the plan and they're pivoting now to say, okay, innings limit, which was reported that wasn't the case before the season, then I understand that. But the problem here is that you keep telling me the Mets have 3 days off. So regardless, with the personnel already here, they had a bullpen shortage and they needed to bring up Nunez for a reason. And we already talked about it. I was kind of in the middle of joining the stream while you guys were talking about it because they prematurely DFA'd Jorge Lopez.
Absolutely.
That was but we're being sold on the innings limit. That's my main gripe. So maybe it's not even about the decision; it's about what's being reported.
That should be your beef right there.
And that's my point. So I think a lot of people are
fuck what's reported. Fuck what's reported because they're only going to report what they're told, right? But
yeah,
your beef should be because they jumped the gun, right? Because the Mets always react in panic, right? They don't have the guts to say, like I said before, if you feel conviction about something. So you could have said, listen, what Jorge Lopez did, unprofessional, and it's unacceptable here, and he knows that from this point forward he can never do that again, and this is the warning to everybody. You don't all get an individual warning. You don't all get an individual. Listen to me closely. You do not all get an individual warning. This is everyone's warning. Jorge Lopez, let it known for everybody. This will never happen again. This happens, you're out of here. Yeah. But like I said before, understanding the situation that the guy is dealing with, having conviction instead of being reactionary, right? And having conviction behind your decisions and what you're doing. And we're going to kick and scream because there would have been some fans that would have said, no, how you not DFAing this guy? He's an embarrassment to the organization. No, the play on the field is an embarrassment to the organization already. That's embarrassing enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that was my only gripe, by the way. That was my only gripe with it. Listen, I'm all for protecting. I'm all for protecting the longevity of Christian Scott. I'm all for it. I'm never going to just say, hey, listen, in the lost season, let's just pitch this guy out of this planet and he's going to be injured and he's not going to be as useful for next season. Like, that's not what I'm trying to get at. My thing is the optics and what was reported and the cause and effect of it.
And you know, it could have been a lot of circumstance as well, considering the fact that they probably brought him up a lot quicker than they thought because of injury, because of, time frame and all that stuff. It could be just all circumstance, and they might have not had an innings limit, and then they thought, let's have an innings limit. In his limit, maybe they thought they might go on a run, and they're scared that they have to use Christian Scott in big spots and don't want to limit his innings. At that point, again, it could be a whole bunch of nonsense. The fact of the matter is, right now, if Hector is right and they're trying to evaluate the McGills of the world and the Petersons of the world, and they don't want to overuse or put out Scott right now until they evaluate the rest of these guys, or by the way, showcase these guys for the deadline like a McGill and Peterson, which could be another big reason why you're gonna, because no matter what, if they are sellers at the deadline, you're going to see all the young kids anyway, and they're all going to be up here. So, and filling those spots. So it's really possible that they want to showcase David Peterson and Tyler McGill, guys that could be tradable if they pitch well up until the deadline. Those guys can go. That would be another reason why they're probably putting these guys and forcing these guys in the rotation to use them as a showcase for a possible trade in 2 months. That could be the other reason too. Scott ain't going anywhere. He'll be up here at the end of July anyway. And, if we all believe this team is garbage, maybe the organization already believes that. And they know they're going to be sellers. So they want to showcase everybody that can be tradable at the deadline. And that is the reason why they make moves that kind of don't really make sense when they kind of contradict themselves. They're probably showcasing these guys, everybody, for the deadline. And McGill and Peterson are probably going to be on the block as well. Because I think Peterson's up after this year or next year. So he's a tradable option. McGill is going to be a tradable option as well. And you got a lot of young guys that are going to be that Stearns is probably going to be ready to go for 2025. I think that's the case.
By the way,
yeah, Chris.
But by the way, we're going to see Tyler McGill, who's put together 2 really impressive outings back to back. We're going to see him in Washington. I just wanted to give him some flowers because he looks like with that new pitch, he looks pretty competent out there. I really hope that it continues. And this is the start of something more because I was kind of getting a little bit tired of McGill and the McGill conversations because he just wasn't turning it around. But I'm just going to say, I'm still skeptical, but he's been pitching better. That's all I'll say. Give him his props.
We've kind of neglected the chat today, and there's some like fire stuff coming through, some funny stuff, and some good questions. And one from my guy Antonio, and I kind of lost it. Oh well, he's asking us, right? And it's a good question, right? Because like I said, I hate this. I hate that you guys want to look. Not everybody wants to look to the trade deadline. Like that's the obvious to me what's going to happen there. And if this team had any guts, they could possibly turn the season around. But my man Antonio asks, what if you can solve the Mets issues today, what would you do in a trade?
Trade everybody?
No.
Honestly.
Now, Antonio, I don't know if it's to solve the issues looking towards the future or to solve them right now for this season because damn, CP is gone. So I guess it's just me and you. That's going to be fun. We're going to fight about Peter Alonso, guys. Get ready.
I'm ready.
The Peter Alonso conversation is over. And Easy had enough of the Christian Scott conversation. So, guys, now that CP is gone, we can let that go. Because, listen, we had it out in the chat. I not had it out, but we spoke about it in the chat. Like,
yeah,
I don't think it's a big deal. I said it in a roundtable when he came up. I guaranteed you guys that he would go down. Didn't I say that in the roundtable? If you guys are repeat visitors, I said it in the roundtable. I said just like this. I tell you guys right now, don't lose your mind when Christian Scott goes back down because he will. But as far as my guy Antonio is asking, I will tell you this because I am still looking to try to save the season, right? I am. I want to have
games, baby. Let's go.
I don't even know what that means. 4.5 games from what? The wild card? Is that what it is?
Wild card, baby.
Okay, I told you I don't look at the standings. For me, honestly, and it hurts for me to say it, I would try to move Jeff McNeil right now. I think it would be addition by subtraction. I think maybe you combine him with some money. I guess you might have to. I don't care about how much money Cohen loses. If he has to eat contract, I don't give a damn. I really don't care. And maybe that's ignorant because maybe if I look at it real good, it'll hurt us down the line. Nah, pay the taxes, you fool. Pay the tax. You created this mess. Get yourself out of it. And one way you can get out of it is with your money, right? So do it. But I would try to trade Jeff McNeil and see if I can have addition by subtraction in the clubhouse, see if I can get more cohesion, and see if he can help me to bring that bullpen help that I need. Because, we could talk about his value is down or whatever. He should be able to get you some bullpen arms or a bullpen arm that maybe you could use right now that's not too old. That you know what I'm saying? You could use now and maybe hold on to for a couple of years.
Seattle has wanted Jeff McNeil since the Diaz trade. For 3 years now.
You think they still want him?
Call Seattle and say, hey, listen, you wanted him forever. Who is Di Podesta, right? That's the GM out there.
Something like that.
Yeah, whatever. He sucks. The fact is, listen, you want Jeff McNeil. You
He
wanted
sucks,
him.
but they're doing better than us.
Look, Jeff McNeil sucks because we're holding him back. It's Eric Chavez's fault, not Jeff McNeil. Send him flowers, send him, I don't know, send him shirts, I don't know, let's go Mets shirts, and just send him out there. Look, we'll pay for everything. We'll even give Jeff McNeil a private jet to Seattle. We'll do everything. We'll send his dog with him. Who cares? Just get him the fuck out of here. Trade him now. Trade him to freaking Russia. I don't care. Get him off. You know what? McNeil could be the biggest problem on this team.
It could be. And honestly, I was at the point where I was saying, yo, and a lot of it happened. I was send Beatty's ass down, and somebody just said Rob was predicting Beatty would go down and turn into Babe Ruth. Let me tell you guys something.
What
I
did I
saw
say?
he hit two. I say he hit 2 home runs today. I don't know about you, Rob. It didn't mean anything to me.
No, he's a minor leaguer. That's what I
mean
know.
anything to me that he hit 2 home runs in the minors today.
No, not at all.
Hit a home run every day, and maybe I'll pay attention.
No, I won't.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll go to sleep. I'm telling you.
You showed me a lot more.
Brett
We
Beatty,
know he can kill it down there.
Brett Beatty can hit minor league pitching. He can hit major league pitching. It's just that simple. He can't catch up to a major league fastball. He never can, never will. The majority of his home runs are on hanging mistakes. He can't hit a fastball to save his life.
Right. And I don't even want to spend too much time on Brett Beatty. So my other thing I was going to ask you is, and I know it's a little bit out there, right? And because no. Because I'm saying, yo, trade McNeil, send down Brett Beatty, bring up my guy Mark Vientos, who's thankfully still making that look good. Bring up Iglesias. But I was going as far as saying, yo, the kid is hot. Why not try it and bring up Acuna? It's not to stay forever. And it's like, yo, dude, we're going to bring you up here, see what you got. If you do well. Or you can even tell him, listen, you're going down in 2 weeks no matter what.
Well,
but I don't like I don't know if you take that approach, but you just bring him up and you say, listen,
you see,
we just want to see what can happen.
This is the similar thing with Christian Scott. I think the fact that David Stearns already made up his mind and think he's going to be a seller at the deadline. I wouldn't do that yet.
But I don't want to. But because my thing is, I understand you bring up the kids if you sell. I get it. I
don't want. I'm saying
bring up brings that when it happens. Hold on. William brings that when it happens.
Let me finish my statement with that. So you can understand. I'm not talking about they'll come up later or anything like that. What I'm saying, they don't want to bring up the kids now. Say if they don't trade Jeff McNeil, but they want to sit him on the bench and they want to bring up Luis Acuna because he's hot, right? They don't want to do that because of the fact that if they are going to trade Jeff McNeil at the deadline, his value is going to be absolutely nothing completely if you have him on the bench and he doesn't play every single day. You're not showcasing him anymore. I know he's been bad, but when it comes to the deadline, if any pitcher or any player gets hot a week before the deadline, they usually get traded if they're on the block. Like everybody's like, why would anybody want Peterson or McGill? Well, Peterson's a lefty. Every team's always looking for a lefty, regardless of what they might be doing. They always seem to get traded every single time. And Tyler McGill, if you realize he has really good stuff, there might be one coach on a team that says, I can fix him. And there's a trade. You get a prospect for him. Like, it's very simple. Like, they want to showcase all the guys that they're willing to trade at the deadline. That's why you're not going to see guys like Luis Acuna, which I want to win. I would bring up the hot guy. I would bring up every goddamn motherfucker in that fucking AAA and bring them up. I would sit every low life on the Mets. I would sit Lindor. I would put a shortstop. If Jet Williams was healthy, I would put his ass at shortstop. I would sit Marte, bring up Drew Gilbert if he was healthy. I would care less about the veterans. But Stearns is not going to do that because he needs to showcase these guys to have some value so he can pick up the phone and say, listen, I know Jeff McNeil's having a bad season, but he got what it takes for you guys. And it could just be that phone call. It might be silly, but you know what? GMs get over on other GMs every single time at the deadline. Exactly. They can sell a bill of goods. And David Stearns is the master of that. Look at the trades he made. That wasn't even money related. Smart trades that he made with the Brewers over and over again, where other teams were picking up salaries and he was giving, decent prospects and he was getting the better player. He is a master of that. He's a manipulator. That might not be good in the real world, to manipulate people, but it works in baseball. And all you got to do is spill those, sell them a bill of goods, and you can, get one over on a GM or two. And listen, Billy Hepler did, and he's an idiot. He got over on Houston and Texas, getting those prospects.
I don't know if he got over on them. We used money,
They didn't have to give up. I don't think the Astros had to give up top prospects.
And we'll see if we really got over how these guys pan out. But let me get back to what I was trying to say with this, because I'm still, like I said, I'm still thinking about trying to save the team. So I'm just like, yo, you bring the kid up here, and maybe his energy, right? Maybe the subtraction of McNeil from the clubhouse and that negativity or whatever. And like I said, Keith put up the picture. I commented exactly what I said here to his post about the picture, right? Like, yo, is that Lindor back there? Blah, blah, blah. And basically what I said, looking like he doesn't know what's going on. And McNeil barely, you could even see him, right? And then somebody else commented, my dude Sack, who always going at me. Oh, he says I'm wrong about everything. He says, it's simple, but fans want to be mad at this. The Hispanic guys are close to each other, and the white guys are close to each other. Can't do anything about it. I think he's trying to say it's about connection and similarities. They don't have any, and I agree with that 1,000%. I've said that on my videos. I've said that on the radio. I've said it even here in the round table. It's even beyond that. Every team is gonna have different factions, right? There's guys that are just reserved, right? There's introverts. There's like he said, the natural, just cultural division, right? Just the cultural division. I'm not even gonna do the race thing, just the cultural division or whatever. Then there's the party group. There's a group that doesn't like to party. There's the married group that goes and hang out with their family. You know what I'm saying? There's different factions on every team. But what there is on the good teams is one or two people that are able to bring everyone together. You know what I'm saying? And not all the time, but every now and then to be able to bring everybody together to, for whatever it is, because of this joke, because of this story. Yo, everybody, listen up. And then we all laugh about this. Or, let's, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure there's anybody like that on the Mets. That's why when you say, yo, they have to know about Jorge Lopez, I'm not so sure. And maybe one or two guys may know, but nah.
Yo, heck, somebody's asking on the channel. They're looking for your channel. What is the name of the YouTube channel?
I just try to figure that out. I got to figure it out myself.
Hold on. I got it right here. Hold on. It is. Oh, I don't know.
It should be Blunt Doors, but I don't know if it's my name.
It just says Hector. So I mean,
yeah, I gotta figure out how to change that.
Type in Hector. Well, actually, right now, you know what? Just type in Mets Roundtable podcast, and his stream should pop up. You might be able to find the channel that way, Carlos. You might be able to do that, because you'll see the streams on every channel right now, because it is playing right now. It says Hector, so I'm assuming it's just Hector. Type in Hector, and you might. What is your profile picture on YouTube?
It's the Blood Doors logo that you find on X. Yeah.
So it's white with the blue letter and with the blunt. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, it's the one that you had that I actually have on here when I comment and stuff like that. Then you see, my man Antonio said he was leaving because sitting in the door was crazy talk. Antonio doesn't want to give up on the season. So
no. I never said sitting. It was sarcasm, guys. Was it Antonio? No, it was sarcasm. I'm only saying that because I still want to win, right? I'm still looking at the standings because I'm a nutcase and I don't want the season to be over.
And that's where he is, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm saying, like, I don't want to look forward to, we're going to bring all the young guys up. Like, eventually that may happen, Rob. You know what I'm saying? If we sell, we keep playing the way we are. And then you get frustrated.
Fine.
Yeah, you get frustrated when it happens. And then we'll buy into it, right? And then we'll start watching it and we'll get excited. Oh, this guy looks good. Or we'll say, man, this guy's trash. Oh, my God. That's what you know what I'm saying? All that's going to happen. I don't want to look to that yet.
No.
That's why I keep talking about, I want these guys to be better. I need Edwin Diaz to come back sooner rather than later and actually be better. Be close to that 2022 Edwin Diaz. And I understand he was a whole year out. I get it. I expected some rust. What I didn't expect was for the confidence to be lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want, when I criticize Lindor, people think it's because I hate Lindor. I'm a Latino. How the hell am I going to hate Lindor? That makes no sense. And I don't even subscribe to that nonsense. I don't care whether you're white, black. I don't care about that stuff. You play for my team. You're a human being. That's it. Now, what I do care is, do you produce? You don't produce, I'm going to get on your ass. I'm going to get on your ass. I don't care who you are. You could be my favorite, how you once were Jeff McNeil. You could be, you know what I'm saying? And I mean like current players, you know what I mean? Like too old for that favorite shit. But I like Jeff McNeil. I defended Jeff McNeil a lot. I used to argue with my guy Sal on the overnight all the time about Jeff McNeil. Yeah. He's right.
Yep, he was.
I was right for one season. For one season, I was able to go. Now, for a year and a half, this guy's been garbage.
Yo, heck, I know you still. I speak to Sal. You got to get him on the show somehow, some way.
Well, you know what? This is behind the scenes for you guys. I was going to ask you if you want to bring him on one day to come, maybe for like 10, 15 minutes at the round table or whatever.
That would be awesome. I just want him to go crazy for like 20 minutes. Like,
I'll talk to him and see what's up.
Yeah, please.
It takes him convincing because there's a few of us. So he's not, but he trusts me enough that if I tell him, yo, these are my guys, we Gucci. Yeah,
like
he'll come on my show eventually anytime. But
when he was the overnight guy, and you used to call every single night, I work overnight.
Hey, he might be watching. Who knows? Yeah, he might be watching. I doubt it. But if you're watching, Sal, you know I'm coming to you, brother.
Every night you would call Sal and talk about this, especially in 2022 when it was just on over and over again. Oh, man.
When he killed our season around this time in 2022.
And you called him out on it, too.
I love you, Sal. But I told you it was too early. And no, Easter's over. Say, how the hell you doing that? You disrespectful. You gonna tell me the NL East is over on Memorial Day weekend?
And as a Mets fan, you don't do that, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right, Heck. So let's finish it up. The Mets play Nationals before they head off to London, your favorite country.
What are they doing? Are they ahead of us, behind us? You got to stand in somewhere.
They're like 2 games ahead of us, I think.
Oh, Jesus.
So hey, listen, we got McGill, we got Peterson and Severino, baby. Let's go. No Scott, no Budo, no Tidwell. We got these guys. Let's go. All right. So the Mets got 3 in Washington before they head to London, and they have 47 days off during that time. So we get to talk. We get to not have the Mets don't lose on off days. Thank God. So the Nationals, they're a rebuilding team. They're starting to get a lot of good young players from their draft and all that stuff. They're coming up. They got a couple of good young players that are dangerous, and the Mets don't beat up on anybody. So I'm not going to say you should be able to beat this team because they're worse than them. So could you show something, guys? Like seriously, heck, I'm going to give you your final words, but can you show us something? You're heading to another country to play baseball. Why? I don't know, but they are, right? The UK Mets and the 7 line are all going to be there cheering you guys on. First, well, number one, don't embarrass yourselves, right? You're playing one of the best team in baseball in the Phillies. The Mets will probably actually beat the Phillies because why not? They'll probably get swept by the Nationals and sweep the Phillies because that's what the Mets do. But for the Nationals, heck, I want them. Look, can you take 2 out of 3 and play well, or at least win a game when you're winning late? Because that's been a problem. Hector, you have to fly to Washington. You got to be the 9th inning guy because nobody else is. Like, so give me
really in trouble.
Give me your final thoughts. And before you say anything, guys, go to Hector's channel right now, find him, subscribe to the channel because what you get here, you will get on his channel. I promise you that. And hit on that like button, guys. We got on my channel right now. We got over 364. So that's freaking awesome. That's a high number.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right. So, heck, final thoughts. We got Washington for 3 before we head to London. What do you want to see from this goddamn team?
I want to see them have fight. I want to see some life, the same as we was going into the 10-game homestand. You know what I'm saying? Give us a reason to believe. Dude, if you look at the comments, and I apologize, guys. You guys know if you watch the roundtable, I like to write comments down. That's how I like to do my closing, shouting you guys out because you guys are giving us your time, and I appreciate it, and I like to acknowledge it. But today I got so fired up, I haven't been able to do it, right? But if you look at this, for the most part, even my guy Junior, who I was playing baseball with today, well, I wasn't playing, he was playing. I was doing something else. I had to umpire. That's a long story, guys. Even he, who's talking about, yo, this team is done. We talk about it one-on-one, whatever. And many guys on here, right? Myself, Rob, CP and Hayden, shout out to them. They had to go, guys. They said it beforehand. They were going to have to go. We were supposed to keep this under an hour, but I talk too much. We could talk about the trade deadline and selling. Me, I don't like to talk about it so much, but it's the reality of what this team has made us talk about right now. But what also is the reality that we're fans. We're fans. We're passionate. We love this team. And all we want to see is this team win ball games. So even right now that we say, yo, we hate this core can never win. This team wins 10 in a row, we're going nuts.
I just said that in the comments. All the bandwagon fans are coming back, baby.
You know, the bandwagon fans, others that are not bandwagon, we're dying. We're hardcore. It's 10:28 on a Sunday night. You just said you got over 300 people in here. I don't know how to check my stuff. I saw on X earlier, there was like 200 and something people on my X feed. I don't think there's many on my YouTube just because they can't find my shit. On a Sunday night, we're here dedicating time to this team. Yes, venting a little bit, which at the end of the day is going to make us feel a little bit better, right? You know, you hear me scream. That's just the way I am, guys. That's just how I express myself. It's nothing. Believe me, I'm not mad at Rob. I got mad love for Rob. Rob has opened these doors for me. You know what I'm saying? I would never be mad at Rob. Well, I'm not saying never, but but that's my dude. I'm just passionate. We're all passionate because we're here on a Sunday night at 10:29 talk about this team sucks. Break it all up. Give it to all of them. They win 10 in a row. They win 7-8 series in a row. Guess what's happening, guys?
Agree.
It's not supposed to be. We know they could do it. That's about time. Oh, now we knew. About time. This is what we've been waiting for. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be there going nuts. Because at the end of the day, that's all we want. We want a chance to get a chance. And now, the way that baseball's set up, everybody has a chance.
That's the point.
Even the Oakland A's have a chance. Maybe not them. But I think they play better than us. But the American League is probably better. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
There's so many playoff teams now. So you're not out of it until you're out of it. And believe me, this team is trying to be out of it. They're trying.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at right now, you know, with my long-winded closing thoughts. Show us something. Give us a reason to do what we want to do, which is believe. We want to believe that corny-ass slogan, you got to believe. You ain't got to tell us. We want to believe. But the team has to give us a reason to believe. The team has to give us a reason to believe. And I understand. I'm not even going to say it. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go out to Washington, like my man Rob said. Go take at least 2 out of 3. You really should sweep these dudes. But you know what? That's the sad part, is that Washington's a team on the come up, on the low.
Yep.
You know what I was even thinking about today? We don't have to talk about it, Rob. I was even thinking about today. Is there any way that the Nats could actually go out there and try to bring Soto back and say, yo, we ready now. Come back.
Did the Nationals owner die? The old man that owned the team? Isn't it the family took over or something like that?
Wasn't it the Padres owner that died, or him too?
I don't know. But I mean, the Nationals did offer them a $500 million deal, so you never know. They might do that.
So I'm like, but again, we could discuss that at another time. But that's where I'm at. Show us something. Go out there to London and don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass America. don't embarrass our ball game. Do not embarrass what used to be America's pastime. We're trying to expand the game. Put out a good effort. Go win at least one of those 2 games. You know what I'm saying? There's only 2 games. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for more reasons to not completely give up, because as fired up as I get, as much as my little post games that I do can be perceived as negative, I am the most, not positive, but I'm the last one to give up. Believe me when I tell you. We talked about Sal earlier. I was at a game with Sal and BT last year and a few other people where they were making fun of me. My guy Petey Pablo might be watching here. It might be past his bedtime. Petey, you grown ass man with a curfew. Now let me stop. With a bedtime, I mean. He was telling me, yo, dude, I don't know how you do it. Because he went on a game with me late last year where I'm still like, yo, let's go, man. Let's win this game. You know what I'm saying? Until that magic number says 0.
Correct.
Hank wants to fight. But the team has to do it.
Well, heck, last year, how many Met fans on X, on social media, you were on it all this time during that trade deadline? How many people were pissed off when Robinson got traded?
I was pissed off, Rob.
Oh, yeah,
I was at the game. I didn't know what was going on. I did a video talking about, yo, why is this guy not pitching, right?
Yep.
And as I'm doing this video, my post game and all that, I did one in the game, like, what's going on here? I do my post game, like, yo, and I get a text from my homegirl, Nicole. Shout out to Nicole again. Talk about, oh, we waved the white flag. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about in my head? So I text her, like, what? She's like, Robertson. I'm like, Robertson what? What are you talking about? We just traded David Rob. I said, you gotta be fucking kidding.
And we were playing well at the time, too.
I was irate.
Yeah.
I was irate. People were upset that the players got upset. No, I understand why they got upset. My dude Russ, Rambling Russ, or because there's 2 of them, kind of similar names, was coming at me on X today, talking about, oh, you guys buying this, you guys buying that, and the organization quit on the players. I get it, Russ. Like I told you in the back and forth, I get it. It still doesn't excuse these players, though, man.
Nope.
So, yeah, I was upset at the trade deadline last year. The players was upset at the trade deadline last year. But you know what, Rob? I couldn't do nothing about it. You can't do nothing about it, right?
Well,
guess who can? Guess who can?
The players.
They're not.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why those like I understand why the players were pissed off last year, but they never took accountability. Like, look in the mirror. That's the reason why. Like, it's not that hard to figure out.
And respond, though.
You gave Billy Epler no choice. He had to do what he had.
And you're giving David Stearns no choice either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're giving David Stearns no choice. So it always comes back to the same thing. Listen, and people are bringing it up. There's too many smiles in the dugout while you're losing, right? After the top of the 9th happened in the Metro Trail and after the Marte home run, Lindor looked back at the runner on second and had a little smiling fest and giggled for a second. I don't know if you look at it, but he was running back, turned back and left and was talking and laughing with the runner. Listen, you just lost the lead where you're going to have a 3-7 homestand where it could have been 4-6 and you took 3 out of 4 looking good going into the Nationals. I don't want to see that. Can you guys play angry? Like, be pissed off at the world. Be pissed off at every motherfucker that has a W on his freaking hell, the Walgreens team. Be mad at that team. Play mad. Play mad like your life. I want to say your life depends on. That's not a good term, but your Mets career is on the line. If you care, like all you say about the Mets and the fans and blah 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 and all that crap, play angry. I want to see. Like, I was happy when Alonso smashed his helmet in the dugout. I think that was today, actually. In the first couple of innings, or yesterday, where he smashed his helmet when he didn't.
Yeah, show
that
you care.
Like
my man Junior said earlier, man. Like, we show more anger, more fire than they do. I agree.
I want to see
disgusting.
that. I don't want to see, like putting your head down. I don't like Jeff McNeil's antics all the time, but
it's excessive.
It is excessive, but I don't think he does it to show off. I think he's literally mad that he's not doing well.
No, I
Like,
think that's legit him, but
his wife never gets him angry because he would throw her out the fucking window. Like, he's nuts. Like, seriously. Like honestly, like that guy has some serious anger issues. I tell you that right now. Like, I hope he treats his wife great. I hope, but man, don't get that motherfucker mad. I don't want to see him on the street. He would just kill you.
Rob, I told you guys, man. I hang out on the side of the players lot sometimes, and he drives out like he's like intense. Like he seems like an introvert. Like he keeps himself and. He barely even puts his hands up to wave, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like super serious. Like
I think he's overly serious. Like I think he's so hard on himself that it affects him on the field.
Yeah,
and like he can't control that aspect, and that's the unfortunate part. But all right, Heck. So let's finish it up.
Yeah, no, because I saw that explosive diarrhea. He pointed out like he said Jared Porter, which I kind of agree with too. But I think it's too bad either one of those guys, man. Because I think either one of those guys could have been pretty good. And I watched a little bit of Chris. What's the other guy? I was gonna say Christian Scott. But the second one, that guy for because Dak Scott, he has a podcast, and I watch a little bit of it and stuff like that. And I think he might have been pretty good too. But
and you know, people try to kill Cohen like he wasn't trying to get his guy. Those two guys were the top, like the creme de la creme in Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
like,
and they were young coming up. You know what they were, Rob? Like I kept saying, I didn't want a David Stearns. I didn't even want a Theo Epstein or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Let's find the next one. You know what I'm saying? Let's find that next whoever it is. You know what I mean? And maybe one of these guys who had come up through the Guardians and I think through the Rays. They have been in both organizations. Or maybe one was one of the other, whatever the case may be. Maybe they could have been that, you know what I'm saying? Instead, you know.
Well, look, Jared Porter, you know, he likes to, you know, show his ding to people. What are you gonna do? You can't keep that guy on board. Like, you have to fire him. Zach Scott got a DUI. I guess you could have, you know, put him on leave, but
that's what they should have done.
Process, you know, they should have. But you know what?
Which he ended up winning, Rob.
I think Steve Cohen was so nervous that he was just the new owner, and a lot of the people were going to get on him by keeping guys that didn't deserve a second chance with everybody.
And the media was making a big deal out of that crap too, you know. On the low.
Beltran with the Wilpons and all that as well. Like they had to get rid of him. What are you going to do? It sucks. But look, Heck, to finish it up, the Mets need to get going. It's getting closer and closer to the deadline where we have no more not excuses, but like things to say, guys, you still have time here. They still have time. As much as a lot of us don't believe that they have any hope of making a run, the Met tells you otherwise. I just said it. 4.5 games out of a wild card. They gained a game and a half in the 10-game homestand by going 3-7. If they would have went 6-4, they might be 2 games out of a wild card. That's how sad this is. Until the Mets says we are completely done by the deadline, or Stearns, or they're too far away at the deadline, then I will shut up about it. But until that happens, there's hope. Because we saw 2 runs by the Phillies, who were 7 games under 500 in 2022 before they fired Joe Girardi, FYI. So it is possible. And the Diamondbacks last year, the Phillies and the Diamondbacks both creeped in of a wild card spot late in the year, and they went on runs. They didn't win the World Series, but they got to it. Not saying the Mets can do that, but we've seen crazier things before. I can assure you at the deadline, nobody thought the Mets in 2015 were going to go on this crazy run because they couldn't hit to save their lives in the first half. We all remember that Padres series? Watch 5 Days in Flushing again and see how that Mets team felt. All right? When Eric Campbell was the cleanup hitter. Come on, guys. It's all hopeful. All right? All right, Heck. So, Nationals next. We'll see you next time, probably right after the London trip or the London games or the days off. We're going to find the day off next week where we're going to talk about.
Oh, they're off Thursday and Friday this week, aren't they? They played the 3 games.
Yeah,
then
so we'll
Thursday,
probably,
Friday. So we
roundtable.
gotta give the people something, man. The people gonna be looking for anything Mets. We
Yeah,
gotta give them something.
exactly. Like I said, we'll probably throw up a roundtable on Friday or something like that on the off day. A week from now, they play 7, 5, 6 games by then, so we'll have some more stuff to talk about. And
Actually, no,
maybe
they would only have played 3.
okay, that's close. Well, maybe they'll
Yeah,
surprise us.
because it's the Washington series Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 off days Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, so Friday. Okay, you know what? How about we wait until Monday, that off day?
Then off day Monday. I'm just saying, with 2 off days, I know the people are gonna want Mets content. Maybe we could be the ones who provide it, but we'll talk about it behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Let's get out of
absolutely.
here.
So, all right, guys. So
Let's get out of here.
we'll finish it up.
Hey, who knows? Maybe they'll give us a reason to have a round table.
Oh, man.
Somebody else will throw a glove.
Yeah. All right, guys. So subscribe to Hector's channel. If you can't find it, keep searching. We'll figure it out. I'll post it on my channel as soon as I'll find the Hector's channel and I'll link it to my channel on my community page so you guys can.
I'm gonna try to fix how. Guys, I'm a rookie. I'm trying to figure this out.
I'll find your channel and I'll get the link and I'll put it in my community page, guys. Right after this show, as soon as I find it, about 10, 50 minutes from now, go on my community page and you'll find a link to Hector's channel so you can subscribe. So, with that said,
look out, guys, because I'm gonna do me a Soto rant. It should be good. I got some things. I'm still working on it. I was gonna do it tonight to put it on right after this, but I couldn't get to it. But
all right, guys. All right, so 3-7 in their last 10, 24-35. Let's hope for better things to come for this Mets team, at least in the next week until our next roundtable. So with that said, everybody have a great night. Subscribe to Hayden and Chris's channel as well. With that said, have a great night, guys. Let's go Mets. We'll see you next time. Heck, have a great night, guys.
Peace. LFGM, baby.